welcome back to my channel. Bit of a different setup today. I'm in my bedroom. I wanted to sit down and film this for you because I'm experiencing it right now. I've made a lot of videos on my ovulation symptoms in the past. Today I want to talk to you about my peak ovulation day symptoms. So these are the symptoms that I'm experiencing right now on my peak ovulation day. What does peak ovulation day even mean? Peak ovulation day means that you are experiencing a surge in your LH, which means that you are going to release an egg in the next 12 to 24 hours, I believe, and that is the best time to baby dance if you are TTC trying to conceive for a baby. So let's sit down. I said that I am experiencing a lot of these symptoms today. That's because I am in my peak ovulation day, and these symptoms are so intense. I've mentioned this before a few times, but before I had my son, if you're new to my channel, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have a son who's 2, and before I had him, I did not, or at least I guess I wasn't aware, but I didn't really feel like, oh, speaking of, look who's coming. Hi, honey. You want to say hi? You want to sit with mommy? I really did not. Oh my gosh, is he the cutest? Ooh! If you baby dance on your peak ovulation day, you might get one of these. I don't really remember experiencing really intense ovulation symptoms. Now granted, before I had my son, I didn't really know a lot about my cycle. I didn't know a lot about ovulation, so maybe I was experiencing these, but just confused them. Something that I definitely know is that these symptoms have grown more intense after I had my son. These symptoms every single month, it just take me like a wave, and the further postpartum I get, the more intense they seem to get. So let's chat about these peak ovulation day symptoms. The first symptom, and the most unavoidable one, is my insanely high libido. Oh my word. It goes through the roof, especially on a peak ovulation day. On peak ovulation day, it's like I just become a different person. I cannot even like be close to my husband without wanting to get intimate with him. Obviously that's TMI, but we're friends here. Yeah, my libido just rockets through the roof. And leading up to my peak ovulation day, I can start to feel it growing, especially in these past few months as we've discussed baby number 2 and growing our family. I have definitely noticed that leading up to my peak ovulation day, I can start to feel my libido rise every day, gets a little more intense, and then on the peak ovulation day, oh man, it is insane. Insane. So please let me know down in the comments if you experience a really high libido around your peak ovulation day, if that's something that you also encounter, because it definitely makes me feel a little self-conscious. It's not normally that high, insanely like breaking the ceiling high. It's very high libido. Then another thing that I've noticed on my peak ovulation day is is a little toddler running around. No, is bloating. The feeling of bloating right down by my uterus, and it's not the normal bloating you would get when you're PMS, when you're on your period, or maybe when you don't feel good. It's definitely more, it's more reminiscent of how I felt during the first few weeks of pregnancy. So those first, I would say maybe like 8 weeks, when you feel that tiny little bloat, but you know it's like not your belly growing, it's just there's things happening in your uterus. That's how it feels to me on my peak ovulation day. It feels like something is going on there. I can definitely feel like a little bit of swelling, a little bit of bloating, some activity, some action, and that leads me to my next symptom, which is cramping. Oh my goodness, I experience it's not as severe as period cramping, definitely not as severe, and it feels different. Period cramping is so uncomfortable. My ovulation cramping isn't that uncomfortable, but it's definitely there. I definitely notice it. It feels more so like if you have an upset tummy, you have to go to the bathroom, like that sort of feeling. That is uncomfortable but not unbearable. Also notice like little pangs in my ovaries. So I'll start to feel like little, not like little shoots of pain, but like little pangs. And I can't tell, I know some people can tell which ovary is releasing an egg that month. I can't say blanket statement that I can do that, although some months I definitely feel more activity on one side versus the other. This month in particular, I've definitely felt an equal amount of like pangs, like little feelings on my ovaries. And then this morning I felt something really interesting, which was like a whole, here, I'll stand up. Don't mind my leopard pajamas. So I felt like a little pang right across my uterus, and I thought that was so interesting and so weird, because I do normally feel like that the pang sensation in my ovaries and in my uterus, but today was very linear. Anyway, so definitely cramps and little like twinges and little pangs of pain on my peak ovulation day. That's definitely how I know that like I am entering that time. Another symptom of my high ovulation day that is a bit more clinical is I definitely experience fertile CM. Leading up to my peak ovulation day, I notice fertile CM starting to happen, and if you don't know, CM stands for cervical mucus. Tracking your cervical mucus is a really good way of getting to know your body and getting to know your own cycle. And since I started doing that, since I started becoming aware of my own body, I've definitely noticed that on my peak ovulation days, I have very fertile CM, which is a good thing. It's a really, really good thing. I don't tend to have a lot of it most of the time, but it's definitely present and it's there. And if you don't have a lot of fertile CM or you're nervous, you can check out my video I made a few weeks ago on PRESEED, which is a really great fertility lubricant that's out there on the market. You can get it at CVS, Target, Amazon, and it helps mimic your fertile CM. So it'll help mimic those fluids in your own body, which will then help aid in hopefully getting sperm to your egg and fertilizing and conceiving a baby. So definitely notice fertile CM. And then the very last thing that I wanted to mention that I notice on my peak ovulation days is I get broody and emotional. And I feel like my hormones, because things are like raging and happening, I definitely find myself more emotional and broody than in the lulls that I have before and after my peak ovulation day. So I kind of think of my cycle as a roller coaster. The time, like right when I end my period, is sort of steady, and then we start ramping up peak ovulation day, and then things start dropping, and then start kind of revving up again during PMS, and then my period is like peak emotional broodiness. I experience the same sort of like emotional and broodiness that I experience when I am getting ready for my period. So it's very similar. I definitely feel more emotional about things than I normally would. Again, because we're in that like TTC period of time, I find myself super broody. So anything that has to do with babies, peak ovulation day, I'm like, oh my god, like please just let me find any little baby, and like they're so cute. And anything that my son does, I find so charming and so adorable. Like even the things that he does that are a little bit naughty that he knows not to do, I still find them so charming around this time, which is comical. Hi guys, those are my peak ovulation day symptoms. Please let me know down in the comments if you share any of those symptoms, if you feel comfortable sharing what you experience on your peak ovulation day. Is your whole ovulation time relatively the same? Do you notice anything different? You want to say bye-bye now? Should we say bye-bye? Oh, it's not like the iPhone, you're not gonna press a red button, but we can say bye. Okay guys, so that's it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and we're gonna say bye now. Bye-bye. You're so cute. Oh, I wanna eat you.